All right, perfect. All right, so fellas, thanks again for joining. Let me go ahead and give you an update on the lab. I'm sure you guys can see my screen. So yesterday, of course, first started off with letting everybody know that we have our DHCP server and we have PCs, right? And the dilemma that we're facing in this lab is that our PCs are unable to get an IP address from the DHCP server, okay? You know, what we did, of course, if you haven't watched the video on YouTube, I say go ahead and watch it whenever you do get free time, and it'll make sense. But, you know, I reminded everybody, and of course, Brian made jokes about it, but, you know, I put little Easter eggs, you know, whenever I would say it. The OSI model is going to be your best friend whenever we're troubleshooting, okay? So, you know, whenever we're troubleshooting, we you know, you have to use that methodology whenever you're troubleshooting. You don't jump straight to L3 or L4 or L2, what have you, right? You know, so we're going to take our time with troubleshooting. And a couple of things the guys did yesterday is that first they confirmed layer 1 and layer 2 from the source and the destination, okay? The destination being a DHCP server, the sources being the multitude of PCs, right? And checking layer 1, hey, is it up and running? Layer 2, hey, did the switch actually learn it, okay? So we're gonna do a couple of these things, and of course, we're gonna be on this bit for an hour. Folks don't be put in the hot seat, but it's okay. Again, we're gonna, you know, this is a learning, you know, this is a learning room, and it's definitely okay if, you know, you're not gonna be right, you're not gonna be, you know, always fully wrong. So since we got Dre here, I'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and update Dre, since you're going to be the first engineer troubleshooting the first half, and then I'll move down the list. So, Dre, I gave you that intro, okay? So here's where we're at, okay? So the fellas, they checked switch 5, right? They made sure that switch 5 learned the MAC address of the DHCP server. That's the MAC address right there. We can go ahead and confirm it. And so with that being said, again, back to my original, the original dilemma, why isn't my PCs getting an IP address, right? And so now that you know the destination is being learned by the switch up and running, right? What is the next step you would take as an engineer to go ahead and troubleshoot?
That's a good question. Let's see. So do we have 5 and 6 communicating with the DHCP server at all?
And we can check. And guys, typically, and Brian knows my favorite word. I don't say it to be a smartass, but
you want me to say it, or you got it?
I'll give it to you in a second. But I'm going to respect you guys. I'm going to treat all you guys like you're engineers, because I believe you are, right? If you're here, you guys are scientists. So I want you guys to take the initiative, take charge. Hey, Dave, let's go ahead and look in this switch. I'm not going to give you the answer during this lab, unless you wholeheartedly say, hey, all right, Dave, we're done. If you need me to click on a switch, I will click on a switch. I will click on a PC. Okay, I'm not going to give you the answer at first. All right. So if you hear me say, are you asking me or are you telling me? I'm saying that to, you know, help you gain some resolve within yourself and say, all right, I think I know what I want to do. So you have a mind of your own. Okay.
All right.
So with that being said, Dre, what was your question again?
All right. So previously, have we verified that the switch 5 and switch 6 were able to communicate with the DHCP server at all?
You want to check?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Which switch you want me to go into first?
5.
Okay. And so, Dre, what are we looking for on switch 5, if you don't mind me asking?
Is it communicating with the DHCP server?
Okay. All right. Perfect. So if we're thinking about the OSI model, right? And let's assume these are layer 2 switches. How are we going? What command can we use to verify that communication is happening?
I was thinking ping.
Okay. This is a layer 2 switch, though, right?
All right.
And you know.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be MAC address. At that part, I would be kind of lost on this one.
It's okay. It's all right. So the first thing, right? Let's say exact scenario. You were an engineer that's part of a whole team. You weren't working yesterday, but you showed up today.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that you want to do with troubleshooting, first, before you even think about the OSI model, check the running configuration.
Okay.
Simple as that. So what command can I put to go ahead and check the configuration?
Let's see. To be honest, I haven't really played around with the commands inside of switches a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull up some old notes that I had.
No, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead. Take your time. Go ahead. Please.
All right. Give me one moment. All right, what was your question again?
Okay, so what command would I put in, right? If you're the engineer that's coming on shift to go ahead and finish this troubleshooting, but you don't know anything that happened yesterday, the first thing that you know typically you want to do is check the configuration on the switch before you do anything, right? What command would you put in to go ahead and check the configuration?
Would it be the show interface?
To check the configuration of the switch? Not exactly. Somebody want to help him out?
Yeah, it would be show running dash config.
Okay, then I have that too. Yeah, so it would be sh. Yeah, sh run.
All good, brother. Let me go ahead and blow this up for you. Okay. So, and Dre, tell me when to stop. I went ahead and ran that command for you. So now we went ahead and checked the configuration. We see, you know, we have some ether channels running. We got interfaces up and running. Okay. We identified, of course, where that link is from the switch 5 to the DHCP server. It's using gigabit 0/0, right? Do you see a shutdown command here?
What's the question?
Meaning do we see like a shutdown command on the switch saying that if the interface is up or down?
I'm not sure what I'm looking at all.
Oh, okay. Can you see the screen or not?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So typically, if the interface was shut down, it would have the command called shutdown, right?
Okay.
And so that would mean it was, you know, it's shut down, and of course it's not learning. But since we don't have it here, then we know, of course, that's one indicator that it's up and running.
Okay, got you.
So with that being said, right, and we know that it's a layer 2 switch, right? If we're looking at the OSI model, you know, what the PDU is for layer 2 is frames, right? And so frames are typically saved in a MAC address table, okay? And so what we can do is go ahead and to confirm if this switch is learning the DHCP server's MAC address, is go ahead and check the MAC address table. But first, we have to get some information. We have to go ahead and confirm the MAC address of the DHCP server. And I think the fellas went ahead and got that MAC address for you.
It should be on the notepad.
Okay. There we go. Yep. So it's right here, Dre, okay? So it's 5001.007. So we have that info. So now all we have to do is run a show MAC address table, okay?
All right.
Cool. So do you see that? Do you go ahead and see that MAC address on this MAC address table?
VLAN 10, I believe.
Boom. Good stuff. Exactly. So yes, it is learning it. It's working fine. Okay. And so your next step in your troubleshooting, you told me, is you want to check and make sure switch 6 is learning it as well, correct?
Yes.
So we're going to do the same thing, right?
Or would it be best to have 6 and 5 communicating first?
And when you say communicating, you mean learning about the DHCP server?
Yes, because they're both need to be in contact with the DHCP server, right?
And so, and I guess my next question for you, right? With us checking that they're communicating, that they're up and running between each other, what PC are you choosing as your source to troubleshoot first? See as to why the communication is not happening.
Say that last part again.
Yeah, which PC, right? Since you want to check the communication, which PC are you going to use to see, hey, that you're going to use as your source for using it as a MAC address to check it, see if it's up and running?
Would it be 14?
Sure, we can. We can. It's totally up to you. It's what Dre wants to do now.
All right. So PC 14.
Okay. PC 14. Perfect. Okay. Let's go ahead and blow this up. All right. So we are going to do show IP. Perfect. All right. So Dre, there is our MAC address, right? We don't have an IP address yet, right? Because of course, like the standing question, we don't have it, it's unable to communicate with the DHCP server. But we have a MAC address here, okay?
All right.
So with that being said, and let's see, I think we have it on our notepad. Yep, we have that on our notepad. With that being said, now what are we going to do? And it's the same thing that you just did on switch 5. What are we going to do on switch 6?
Yeah, show the make sure it's up.
Perfect. And we're gonna that'll be layer 1. And then also what we're gonna check at layer 2. Dre, you there?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are we going to check at layer 2? We're going to check it that it's up, yes, at layer 1. But what are we going to check at layer 2 to make sure that the MAC address is up and working?
The MAC table.
There we go. Good stuff. Okay. So, perfect. All right. So with that being said, and Dre, remember your methodology, what we just went over. This is your first time in this switch. What do you want to check first before you go and check anything?
To see if it's up.
Nah, a little bit back. What do we check first? If it's your first time in the switch, we check configuration, right?
Okay. Yeah, show running configuration.
There you go. Blow this up for you. Okay. Perfect. So we got some port channels up. We got interfaces up. Do you see the interface of where PC 14 is located at on, of course, right here? Do you see it, within this list?
Let's see.
Let me know if you need me to scroll up.
Am I looking just for ETH0?
Nope, you're looking for, so that interface on switch 6 would be gigabit 0/2.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, right there where the mouse cursor is at.
Okay, perfect. So what information are we checking here? We're just checking to make sure it's not shut down, right?
Correct.
Perfect. All right, cool. Perfect. So, and Brian, unmute yourself real quick. What other command can, no, you know what, not Brian, Kelvin, what command can Dre put in to check and make sure that layer 1 is up and running?
Show IP interface brief.
There we go. And Calvin, break down what this command does. What is it showing whenever we get this output?
All right, so when you type in show IP interface brief, under the interface, it's just showing you the particular interface that you're looking for. You see it says IP addresses are unassigned because we haven't assigned any IP addresses to any of those interfaces yet. When you see under status, it's up. That would be letting you know that the physical connection is up. And under the protocol, that will let you know that the layer 2 connection is up.
Okay.
Perfect. Good stuff. Dre, did that make sense?
Yes.
Good stuff. Okay. All right. So Dre, you check layer 1. We was able to check layer 2 too. But of course, what else do we want to check? So for your eyes, right? That it's learning about PC 14. We want to check the MAC address table, right?
Yes. That would be.
Perfect. I'll let you tell me the command. I know you got it.
That one, let's see. I don't think I have that one down. So when searching for, if you forgot a command, can't you like type partial of the command and hit it with a question mark?
Yes, yes, my
Yes,
man.
there you go.
My
There you go.
man. My man. All right, cool. So you want me to do a question mark?
Show or SH space MAC question mark.
Gotcha. That's what I'm
Hey, that's
talking about.
right on point. That was what we had last
That's
time.
what I'm talking about. That's what we talking about. All right. And I'm assuming we want to go ahead and use the MAC address table, right?
Yes, correct.
Perfect, perfect. So guys, real quick thing. And Dre, excuse my language, good shit, right?
Appreciate
Guys,
it.
nobody's perfect, guys. All right, even myself, right? I'm gonna put the question mark, right? Every engineer, I've dealt with a whole bunch of CCIEs, Aruba experts, Ruckus experts. It's okay to go ahead and use that question mark. What's not okay is for you to play the guessing game, right? And to try to, guess in your mind. Your mind's not a computer. Everybody's human, okay? So Dre, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So we got the MAC address of PC 14. Let me go ahead and pull up the notepad. Okay. All right. Do you see that MAC address in the MAC address table?
Let's see. No.
Okay. Okay. So Kelvin, help me out here. So what can we do to see and to initiate some communication on that link between PC 14 and the switch, even though it doesn't have an IP address? Help out Dre right quick. And I know a lot of people that's on here too may have not heard it last night.
You can do a shut, no shut on the interface.
And what does that do?
It shuts down the port and then it opens the port back, open the port back up, and then it'll send a BPDU. It'll send a BPDU to the PC because it wants to see if there's another switch connected to the other end of the on the other end of that connection.
Good stuff. And just to add a little bit more to what Kelvin was saying, Dre, is that, and everybody that's listening, right? Whenever we shut down a port, electrical signals stop being sent on that line, right? And so the switch is not learning anything. When we bring the switch port back up, we initiate electrical communication, right? And the first message, like Kelvin was saying, that it sends out is the BPDU. Even though PC14 isn't a switch, it's going to go ahead and also help out with that communication and say, hey, you're talking, let me go ahead and start talking too, right? So that's simply what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce that port. What port was that again? 0/2. That. Oh, shut up.
And the other thing you could do with that same thing, you could possibly shut it down, shut the whole PC down and bring it back up too, right?
I was waiting for that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, Brian, what would that do?
It's a complete refresh. So it basically starting, well, I didn't catch everything from last night. I remember that's one of the things that we said, that if it doesn't refresh with us doing the shut, no shut, that would be the secondary last step option to kind of getting it to like doing a forcing it through.
Let's
Could
go
be
ahead
wrong.
and do that now. Nope. No, you're 100% right. So give me 1 second. Go ahead and do what Brian said. Let's go ahead and bounce that PC. Shut it down and bring it back up.
Hey, David, I have a quick question, really quick.
Go ahead.
How often, like in the workforce, do you see these devices not get an IP address when they're connected to a switch? And what's like the main cause of that?
Sure. So depending on deployment and a lot of times in production, basically what I do, whenever we're investigating customers' environments or troubleshooting, a lot of times it's either it was a misconfig, somebody makes some changes. With automation, some APIs, it looks perfect on paper and on Notepad to go ahead and push those commands down, right? But it messed up something on the switch, right? And so it killed a few things. And I'm not gonna say what it killed to give y'all the answer to this lab, but it kills a few things, right? And so now the PC say, oh, hey, I'm plugged into a port, but I can't get an IP address.
Right.
So, and of course, a lot of times, right? And again, the misconfigurations are like 10%. A lot of times it's 9 times out of 10, it's either bugs or just access control that hasn't been granted to the device.
Okay, got it. That makes sense.
It was cool to tell us what it killed.
All right, so let's go ahead and check it. So, with us following Brian and Kelvin's method, right? Dre, what can we sum up? What do you see in your MAC address table?
Let's see. Now we're seeing the MAC for the PC14.
Exactamundo. Now, if we go back to PC14, let's see if it has a IP address yet. PC14. There we go. Oh, let's there we go. All right. Do that. Cool. So we still don't have an IP address. Now, Dre, good stuff. Get some water, take a break.
Oh, boy, I thought you were enough. Ah, thank you.
Nah, Dre, I hope it was helpful, man. I definitely hope it was
Oh,
helpful.
absolutely, man.
If they get rough in that hot seat.
Man, first date too.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. It's all good. So,
really appreciate it.
James.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hey, I'm good.
What's up, man? You ready?
Yeah, I guess so. As ready as I'll ever be.
Perfect. All right. So with the troubleshooting your coworker Dre has done, right? So now we still see that PC14 is still unable to get an IP address. What is your next step? Has that engineer to troubleshoot and see why isn't it able to get that IP address?
Leon. So switch 6 learned the MAC address of PC14, and we verified that just now, correct?
Mm-hmm. Let me go ahead and bring switch 6 back up.
Okay.
There we go.
And I wasn't here for yesterday's meetup. I'm assuming the DHCP server is set correctly to be dishing out IPs in the first place?
So back to what I said with Dre.
Okay.
The engineer, you were on vacation, you're back, right? Trust but verify. You go ahead and check for yourself, right?
Okay. We can
And guys, just a quick disclaimer. The DHCP server, it's just a Cisco router.
Okay.
Try not to make it too complex, okay? So with that being said, James, what command do you want me to put in first for you to go ahead and troubleshoot and confirm the things that you want to confirm?
Okay. I'm thinking of typically when you're setting up DHCP on here, you got to set up a pool.
Okay.
Well, let's do show run so I could just see what's set up there, and I guess we can go from there. And see
there we go.
Because I don't remember all the commands specifically.
There we go.
Yeah, and
Get all the output, and I'll scroll up for you. Let me know when to stop.
Okay, so you're showing the excluded addresses. Let me see if you pull. Default routers. It's hard to figure this out with like no back, you know.
It's all good. And let me know what commands
Background.
you want me to run. Let me know what commands you want me to run so you can get yourself up to speed.
Okay.
And guys, remember, OSI model is your best friend. Okay? OSI model is your best friend. That's my Easter egg for y'all.
So if I consider the OSI model, it's got to pick up in there. We bounced it. Let's go back to PC 14. I see the DHCP commands in there. It looks complete. I haven't brushed up on them recently, but
okay.
you've got your excluded addresses, and for each one you got your default router, guest sales engineering. Now, should they be assigned to VLANs though? No. Oh, man. Okay, let's go to PC 14. We'll go to PC 14. Yes.
So let me help you. Let me help you out here, right? Okay.
Yes,
So we're using the OSI model, right? You're new. You weren't here yesterday, right? You just got back from vacation. You're trying to troubleshoot.
Yeah.
We're using the OSI model bottom up. We're going to check first if layer 1 is up and running, just like Dre did.
Okay.
On that switch, right?
On which one? Switch 5? I think we haven't done 5.
Switch 5. Exactly.
Okay.
We're going to check on switch 5, and then we're also going to check layer 2 to make sure a MAC address is being learned by the DHCP server. Okay.
Okay. So since we're on it, okay, we're going to leave the DHCP now and go to switch 5. Or should we since? Okay.
Totally up to you. What you want to do?
Well, you mentioned earlier we gotta check the MAC addresses being learned on the DHCP server. I figured since we already have it up, we might as well check now. But
perfect. Now we can do it. How you want to do it?
I would need to show MAC address table.
Okay. And remember, this is a router.
Oh, say that again.
A MAC address table. It's a router, so it wouldn't have a MAC address table.
Oh, is it show IPR or show ARP or something like that?
There we go. Oh. Cool.
Okay. So which one is this? It's just got 1 on there. It's on Gizmo interface 00, and that's it. DHCP 00, and it learned. So that's its own. Now I'm thinking, should it have? Now I'm wondering, should it have the switches?
Nope. Nope. This is a layer 3 device, so it's not responsible for learning MAC address, right?
Okay.
Because it's just a router. It's just a router. So if anything, it's going to have an ARP table that's going to cache IP addresses to MAC addresses, right?
Okay.
So now that you have your MAC address, now what you can do is go ahead and check layer 1 and layer 2 on switch 5 side.
Okay. So we got the MAC address of the DHCP server, and now we're going. You said go to switch 5 and check make sure the layer 1 and layer 2 are up and running.
Exactamundo.
Okay.
Let's go ahead. Whoops, did I take down Eve? Sorry. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Switch 5, and let's then pull up. Okay. Perfect. So what command, James, you want me to run to go ahead and check layer 1 and layer 2 is good to go from that standpoint?
The show IP interface brief 1. And check that one out. And what it should have is that switch 5 on interface 00 is the DHCPs. And it says it's layer 1 and layer 2. Looks like it's up.
Okay.
Oh, that's what okay. So it's not, okay. So I guess the next step is looking for the MAC address now
There
for
we go.
the DHCP server.
Mhm.
And the command would be to show MAC address -table. And oh, it's got this POE stuff. Okay. Okay, I do see it on gig 00. I remember that 7, the zeros.
Mhm.
So layer, I guess we can say the layer 2 is up.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Man, that's as
So-
far as I can, yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. So, and good stuff. Good stuff. So, guys, quick tip, that pointed out with James, right? Always, if you haven't even touched the device, check the configuration. You don't know. Check the configuration. See if there were any changes. See what you need to see so you can go ahead and troubleshoot properly. Okay. But good stuff, James. Good stuff. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, what's up, Kevin?
Hey, what's up?
Going back on mute. Have fun, Kevin.
Homeboy snuck in.
I'll just tell my wife, I said, I'm gonna hop on. They probably not gonna call on me to do nothing tonight, so I'm coming in late.
Good luck with that.
No. All right,
No,
so
all good. All good. So with the information, we done brushed up everybody, right? So now, right, you see the switches are doing exactly what it's doing, right? One of its 3 major functions is learning MAC address, right?
Right.
Based on the source MAC address within a frame, right?
right.
So Dre, your other engineers, Dre and James, went ahead and confirmed that. What's the
Right.
next step in troubleshooting this issue? Why isn't it learning a MAC address?
So I'm
I
looking
mean,
at
why isn't PC14 getting an IP address?
So I'm looking at the show IP interface brief that you ran earlier on switch 5, and I'm seeing that gigabit hold on, 1011. So both of those are up and up. I guess I would check the ether channels, the port channels. I would run a show ether channel summary.
Now, why are we checking this?
To make sure the
Always
port
why.
channels are up.
Okay.
All right. Port channel 4 is down. Let's see, gigabit 1/2, 1/3. So 1/0, 1/1. So that port channel is up.
Mhm. Is there something else at layer 2 that you can check?
I could check the
Based on the three-
VLANs.
Okay. Twan, help Kelvin out.
But spanning tree, show the spanning tree.
There
protocol.
we go. There we go. Right?
Right.
Because even though we have a link down, right? What if you get into an environment and the link is down on purpose?
Right.
And what if that's not the way to the root bridge? What
True.
if this is the root bridge?
Yeah, you're
Make
right.
sense?
And I wouldn't know because
Okay.
I wouldn't know. So I guess I would do a show spanning tree summary.
There we go.
Let's see. Show spanning tree summary. Root bridge, nice. Port fast disable.
Now, why did you have me run this command? What information is it going to give you to help you out?
Hold on. was thinking it was going to show me which ports were the blocking ports and the root bridge and things like that.
Mhm.
And
that's, go ahead, Adamola. Help him
okay.
out.
So I can see the Spanitree mode is PVST. Safida as a pavilion Spanitree. So I feel we can run show Spanitree for each of the VLAN to see which port is being blocked or which port is forwarding.
So run the command like this, right?
Yeah, show Spanitree VLAN 10. Yeah, something like this.
We'll go to VLAN 10. Gotcha.
Okay, I made a mistake and put the summary at the end.
No worries, man. It's all good. It's all good. Cool. So Adamola and Calvin, there's VLAN 10. What information did you want from here?
Let's see. VLAN 10. So it's in a forwarding state. So
So we can see the root ID.
No, so VLAN 10, it doesn't have VLAN, gigabit 1/0.
So what's a key thing here that we can take a look at and dissect? This might help me, right?
What
I'm gonna give you a hint.
the port channels, the root?
Would it be the address?
Who said that?
Me, Brian.
Okay, keep going, Brian. You're in the hot seat. What address?
Golly. Shoot.
No, you're good. You're good. Keep rolling. What address are we looking
So
for?
what made me think about the because we're trying to see if the MAC I keep hearing MAC address table, right? So I'm looking to see if, like, just looking at all of these, if which ones are, having the same DHCP MAC address. And I don't know if I'm going in the right direction, but that's kind of what I was thinking of when I looked at the first thing that grabbed my attention by looking at this spanning tree enabled thing. Well, right up under VLAN 10, I looked at the MAC address that says the 5001.004.00. I think that's a DHCP server. And then looking at VLAN 20, that one says the same exact thing too. That was the main thing.
No.
So somewhat right, Brian? But
okay.
A DHCP server doesn't give out MAC addresses. Those are uniquely given to each host. Okay, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. It's okay. Kelvin and Adamola, you guys were going good too. I'm gonna go ahead and help you guys out, right?
Okay.
So we're looking at hold on. If we're looking at VLAN 10, right, it's showing us what the bridge ID is for the root. Okay, so it's 5001.004.000, right?
Right.
What if we go ahead, check the MAC address table and see where we're learning that on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So let's go ahead and do it. So Calvin, what command you want me to run?
Show MAC address table. And he's learned. It was 4.000, right? Can you scroll up one?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh yeah, I see it right there. 4 is right there.
Got it.
004.00. So it's not even in the MAC address table at all.
At all?
004. We're looking for 0004.0000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in there.
It's not in there.
Not in there?
No.
Perfect.
So we need to get it in there. That's funny.
So, with that being said, where can we find it? How can we track down that MAC address of the root? Because that didn't come from nowhere, did it?
No.
Right. Is that the MAC address? Okay.
There
Yeah,
was some
is it
changes that
possible?
were made.
Is it possible we run the same command on the other switches, like switch 4 and switch 6?
There we go. That's what I was waiting for. So, Adamola, hot seat. So you want me to look at the MAC address table here, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
There it is.
Switch 4, that's 004.
It's not in there either.
One.
It's not on that one either.
One.
Is there another switch we can check?
Yeah, switch 6.
3.
Is there anything else we want to check on this switch before we jump to another switch?
Oh, we can check
IP interface brief, the layer 1 and layer 2. The show IP interface brief.
We can. But if we're troubleshooting the spanning tree,
yeah, that's show spanning tree.
Troubleshooting spanning tree. What do we want to check?
The show spanning tree.
Okay.
There's that 00400.
So we can see the MAC address belongs to switch 6.
So the root bridge belongs
switch
to
4, sorry. So switch 4.
Okay.
So the root ID I mean the MAC address 500100040000 belongs to switch 4.
Okay. How'd you come up with that?
Because that's the root. I can see that's the root ID, and each switch has a root ID which connect to the root port. So we're trying to figure out which of the switch is the root port.
Okay. So gigabit 1/0 right here. Right?
Yeah.
Port channel 1, just confirm, right? Show ether channel summary. Port channel 1 is gigabit 0/0 and 0/1, which is right here.
I thought we were on switch 4. We're on switch 4, right?
Yeah, we're on 4.
We're on switch 4, not switch 6.
Oh, we're on switch 4. Perfect.
We're on switch 4.
I'm looking at the wrong switch. Okay. So that being said, Adamola.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and I do apologize. So why is switch 4 the root?
Is it because it has a lower priority?
Anyone answer? Or?
Close. So I'll go ahead and tell you, right? So it tells us in plain sight, this isn't the root bridge. Okay? It tells us who the root bridge is, right? It tells us the MAC address, and it tells us a cost of 4, right?
Yeah.
Typically a root, it's going to have a, if it's the root, it's going to say it's the root bridge, and it's going to have a cost of 0. Okay.
Okay.
And so, right, Adamola, just like you said, and you're on a good path. We identified our root port, which is gigabit 1/0. So what's the next place we can go to check and see where's the root?
About switch 6.
You want us to go back down to switch 6?
Or then what?
The root port.
The core switch.
Is it the core switch?
There we go. Yep, we can go ahead and take a look at that. Go ahead and pull that up. Cool. All right, so we're on the core switch. Adamola, what do you want to check?
So I will run the same command, show spanning tree.
Okay. So have you been on this switch before?
Oh no, sorry. No.
Okay, so what do you want to check first? What do you want to check first, even before you do anything? Which might help out you guys' troubleshooting efforts.
Configurations.
Yeah, configuration. So I can run show IP interface brief. I want to see
So
if
you want me to run show IP or show run?
show run. Sorry.
Gotcha.
That interface doesn't have, I'm sorry.
Nope, go ahead, Cal.
No, I was saying the
I think
interface
I've
doesn't
seen
have
some.
any configurations on it at all.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I was saying that interface gigabit 0/2 has no configurations on it at all.
Does it need it?
No, I don't think we need to configure anything there.
Can we do the I guess check the layer 1, I guess, to show IP interface brief next, or?
Yeah.
(0/2).
G00 down. G01 is
Mhm.
down. Yeah, something's wrong, right? It looked like.
0/2
Good
is
call
up
out,
and
bro.
up.
Just last year is up.
But some of the main ones we've been looking at, looking at the G01 going all the way down to those at G00. Both of those two are down. Shouldn't be down. Should be up, right?
Let's see. We put the
Guys, just
PCI.
remember, and guys, remember what Dre started off with. Dre wanted to go. Your teammate Dre wanted to go ahead and start troubleshooting PC14. So we're focused on the source of being PC14. Okay.
Okay.
And we put
That's
PC14 in VLAN 20 just so we can. That was like a test VLAN, right? That's what
I
we
believe
did.
so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so VLAN 20 is up and up.
I keep looking at these same two that G01, G02.
Somebody said it. Somebody said it earlier about a certain interface not having a configuration.
Yeah, and so
That's
gigabit
Kelvin.
0/2, you said, does it really need it?
I'm looking at
yeah,
G02. Yeah, it does.
It would need a.
Output?
It wouldn't. It needs some kind of configuration.
Yeah, because if that's what's hooking to switch 4,
Is
Right, and so let's take a
Would it
step
need
back.
a-
You guys are on the right path, right?
would it need an
Yeah, you guys
IP
on the
helper
right path.
address?
No.
Not exactly, right? Not
Okay.
exactly, right? So you see in the configuration, Adamola was right, to go ahead and take a look at the configuration, right? If we're looking at a core switch, right, and we have SVI, switch virtual interfaces, that have IP addresses on there, right? And we have multiple VLANs, okay,
Yes.
between two switches, right? If we
Right.
don't have trunks between those switches, how is it going to know pass traffic
You're
between
right.
those switches?
Yeah, that's true.
If those
Yeah, exactly
interfaces,
right.
if those interfaces are only layer 2, right? The interfaces
Right.
are only layer 2. How is it going to pass traffic? Because if it's an access port, Jermaine, what's the traffic going to be tagged as?
Untagged, correct?
Untagged. And it's going to be
Or
it's going to be just VLAN 1.
Yeah.
but the main snuck here too.
No, they don't.
So
All
I
right,
guess
cool.
we would go ahead and configure gigabit 0/2 as a trunk port and make sure on switch 4 gigabit 1/0 is configured as a
Just
trunk
a
port as
trunk
well.
port, yeah.
Sounds good. Yep, we can do it. Good stuff. Did that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just interject a question real quick about that traffic on the access port being untagged, VLAN 1?
Yep. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so say you set that, say you change the native VLAN to like another 1.3, for instance. Now, and it's an access port, will it be on the native VLAN of 3 now? Does it just
Absolutely
go
not.
with whatever? No? Okay.
Nope.
So-
And here's the reason why, right?
Okay.
Here's the reason why. So
Uh-huh.
with 802.1q, right?
Uh-huh.
That native switching to native VLAN is only for trunks, not for access ports.
Oh, okay.
Because
that makes sense.
every access port, every access port is automatically, if you don't configure anything, is automatically gonna come pre-configured in a certain VLAN, which is always VLAN 1, unless you switch
Okay.
it, right? So
Okay.
you're not actually telling the switch which one is a native VLAN. Within the trunk, you're telling it, hey, I want to use this as a native VLAN to pass traffic. That makes sense?
A little bit. I had to go over it, but just hearing it that it's absolutely not, then that I'm gonna remember that. I'll need to go over it and make more sense in my mind,
All
how
good.
that's the case.
All
Yeah,
good.
appreciate it, David.
All good. No, all good. All good. All right. So, Kev, you want to go ahead and you and your team wants to go ahead and configure the trunk interface. Configure gigabit 0/2 has a trunk. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
And then we're gonna go over the switch port to verify that gigabit 1/0 is a trunk port as well.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay. So, Kev, now that we have a trunk, right? Let's triple verify. Okay. What do you want to do now?
Since we have that configured as a trunk, I mean, now we have inner VLAN routing enabled, but we go back to PC14 to see if we can get an IP address now.
Okay. And guys, this virtual PC is just like a Linux box. Nope. Kel, no IP address.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to check on the switch that it's connected to? See why it's not getting an IP address.
The switch that the PC is connected to.
Mm-hmm.
See if it has a SBI. I guess to see if it even has SBIs created.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So what do you want me to check?
I think you'll run the command. I think show IP interface brief, will you be able to tell with that? I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, I got you. I got you. We can run it.
Can't see. So no, I don't think
There's
it has
another command we can run.
but it doesn't have
There's
an
another
SBI
command we
created. Oh, sorry.
Right. No, go ahead. Go ahead, my bad.
No, I'm just saying I don't think it's an SBI created. So I guess we would create an SBI.
On this switch right here, access layer switch.
Like a show run?
Yes.
There we go. There we go. Right. And guys, let's think about the tier approach, right? So remember, and Kel, I'm being on you because you were here yesterday, right? So we stated that these switches are layer 2 switches. If it's not the core, it's a layer 2.
It doesn't need a
Yeah, two switches.
Yeah, it doesn't need SBI.
Okay. Okay. So it's not going to have an SBI.
All right.
Okay.
My bad.
So no, it's all good.
Can you go, please? Yeah.
What do we see?
So are some of
Adamola, what do
these
you want to take a look at?
and the interfaces aren't? Like some of the interfaces are trunk, but some of them aren't. Switch 6.
And remember, Calvin wanted to come back to this switch to check the port that PC14 was connected to. What do you want to check on that port that is connected to, Cal?
Let's see. It looks like it's in the correct VLAN. It's an access switch. Let me see.
Perfect.
Yes. So yeah, we have it in the right VLAN and it's configured as the access port. But I still don't know why it's not getting the PC number 14, not getting the IP address.
It's all good. It's all good. So what do you want to do next? And here's a hint. You saw where your SVIs were located. You saw, and if you know the DHCP process and how DORA works, where are you going to check to see why isn't it getting an IP address? Layer 3.
You said layer 3. Will we go back to the core switch and check the IP address on the core switch?
Exactly. So what do you want to check? You're getting close, Cal.
The IP address for gigabit 0/2.
Sure. Yeah, because
interface.
Check the IP address of
0/2. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Is IP routing already enabled on that particular switch?
What command would I run?
IP routing. I think that's the command.
No, to check if it's running or not.
I don't know the
I want to verify.
Show run
interface.
Show switch port
interface 01.
So it'll be show run.
Interface G0. Oh, yeah, just show run.
It'll just be show run.
Yeah, show run.
We're just checking the configuration. Cal, I'll scroll up for you. See anything? I don't see that command here.
No, I don't.
Cool. So, you want to go ahead and enable IP routing?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So this is actually what Kel was at before. Like you said, this particular command.
Yeah, IP routing.
So,
you said it, and I think you backed off of it.
Calvin, because you're still here and you're doing a good job, and everybody else chipping in. You guys are doing well. And we're gonna end because we started at 8:15. Like I said, we're sticking close to that hour mark, so we're probably gonna have a hard stop at 9:15. Kel, is there anything else you want to check on this switch before confirming to see as to why PC14 is not getting the IP address? Anything you want to confirm?
Like I said, we check layer 1, they're up. Layer 2 is up. We enable IP routing, but there's no IP address on that particular port. I mean, should we configure IP address for gigabit 0/2?
Ask me, you tell me.
I'm telling you. Let's configure IP address gigabit 0/2.
Okay, we can do that.
We could.
But is there anything you want to check in the configuration before we do anything?
To confirm that it's there? Do a show run?
The show MAC, are we trying to see if it's learning the MAC address? Did we do that already? To see if the learning switch forwards MAC address.
So I guess what he's saying is you implemented something there. So I just confirming or like confirming that what changes that you just made.
So you run the show run command again to see if the command took.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's all good. No, it's all good. So I'm gonna help you out, right? So if you guys ever created, if anybody has ever configured DHCP on Cisco devices, right? Right. And if you have layer three within your, topology, what have you, and it's not, if it's not the DHCP server, is going to act as a DHCP relay agent, to where it's going to go ahead and forward those requests to your DHCP server. Okay. So we have here, right? We have our DHCP server on one VLAN. We have our PC on another VLAN. Okay, on VLAN 20.
Right.
Okay. So with that being said, what do you see here that may be misconfigured as to why our PC is not getting IP?
Let's see.
That's interface VLAN 40. I can see no IP address on it.
Oh, I am nowhere near that.
And it's shut down.
Yeah.
VLAN 40 is shut down.
Shut down.
I'm sorry, say again?
Yeah, they said VLAN 40 is shut down.
Okay, so let's take a look at it. So let's think about our source and destination. Let's look at a source and destination. So we have our servers on VLAN 10. Our PC, Kelvin, that you put on there is on VLAN 20.
VLAN 20, yes.
Why are we looking at VLAN 40?
You're right. So we don't need 40 at all right now. So let's see, VLAN 20. The IP helper address is 10.10.20.10. Yeah, so that's the IP address of the DHCP server 10.10.10.50.
Yeah, instead of 10.
Okay, so what do you want to do, Kev? What do you see?
Well, you change the IP IP helper address to the 10.10.10.50. I mean, I may be wrong. Okay.
Nope, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because you're saying once it gets those requests, those DORA requests, it's gonna forward it to from that router to the DHCP server, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so I guess now we can go ahead and check our PC. Moment of truth.
Hey, there's some slick, stressful stuff, boy. If you're trying to figure out some stuff.
We got an IP address because it started at 51.
Yep.
So we got an IP address. So,
yes.
So, fellas, good stuff. And here's the reason why. I know it's tough. Y'all can stop sweating. Y'all can get a drink of water. Here's the reason being. Right? And I know Jermaine went over it before. And I kept giving you guys Easter eggs. OSI model. Take it slow. Take it slow. And Adamola, I love the way you said that. Let's go to each switch and check. See what's going on. And Brian and Dre and Kel and James, you guys said it perfectly as well. Let's check spanning tree. OSI model, guys. It's right there. OSI model, it's right there. Okay, keep it simple. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fellas, you guys did great. Good stuff. Get some rest. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to a close. Hope you took something away from this. Any questions before we hop off?
Nope, not for me.
Right.
I'm about to
All right,
start
fellas.
write some stuff down and start going over the spanning tree, and then
Mhm.
kind of nail down this OSI model.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, fellas. Man, great job. I will see y'all the next time we have this session. And man, night.
All right, peace, everyone.
Take it easy. Have a good night.
Appreciate it. Good night, guy.